It's like the parents' responsibility nowadays to sell the candy bars.
Yeah, you have to bring that shit to work. That's just the bottom line.
I bought a candy bar today for some Little League thing.
Yeah, when you're at work, you're like, fuck, I'm gonna see this person like every day for the rest of my working here.
Yeah.
So I have like no choice but to accept. You get cuckolded at work. Who'd have thought?
Exactly. And actually, I was that dipshit too. Like, I was selling chocolate bars for my future niece's ballet class.
Wait, she wasn't even fucking alive?
No, like, I'm not married to my fiance yet. So, like, they have her pre-set up in this ballet class where in 12
They're
years...
like, we need to see how much the embryo has potential in dance. That's fucking hardcore, man. That's like some fucking like Russian like KGB ballerina shit.
That's like how the 90s used to be with tennis. It's like you get your kid in professional tennis at like 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's like a ballerina is going to be not even an embryo yet. It's just...
Yeah. They're like, let's see this sperm of yours.
Can this sperm dance? That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
Wicked smart, wicked cool, wicked fucking stupid, whatever the fuck. Just something wicked.
I'm baking like a twisted teaser. It's so hot here.
My boy's wicked smart.
Cause the boy is hotter than hot. He's hot, hot.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Well, anyway, guys, welcome to another episode of Wicked Hot. Kevin and John. Yeah, dude, another week, another tropical fruity drink. Which, speaking of it, it is getting pretty shitty, at least for me, summer. It's fucking hot as shit.
At least for you, it's like 110 today. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's true. It was like 80 something.
Oh, what, 80 something with like 30% humidity.
No, not 30%. That's a lie. But yeah, guys. So we got another episode. I don't know if we're doing the Instagram because. Oh wait, no. Did we?
Yeah,
do the
yeah,
Instagram?
we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it.
We'll do it because. Yeah, I guess this episode's not coming out on Monday, but
yeah,
or this Monday
coming out June 11th.
Oh,
big day for Wicked Hot.
Big day. That's a big day. Yes, Kevin did get me a Lando Calrissian album cover tee, which is fucking amazing that he designed. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's available for purchase.
TeePublic.
On TeePublic.
But yeah, so we did post the Instagram. What do we post? Who got it? What's going on?
Technically, no, we didn't post because this episode doesn't come out until the week after. So
I thought did you just say we did post?
We posted for the episode that we recorded last week that hasn't come out yet.
Oh. Well, then never mind.
We're getting like way behind, or I guess ahead of
No, we're
recording.
getting ahead. Yeah, well, because you're going to Laughlin, so we gotta be on our toes. So yeah, this week, guys, we are actually doing 90s heroic movies. Now, we're not really doing superhero movies. I mean, I think we may have some like superhero-esque movies. But we wanted, I just kind of had like this like nostalgia thing where I'm like, I remember those movies from the 90s that are fucking probably terrible or look horrible now. But at the time when you're a kid watching them, it just brought a smile to your face, and I always remember them. And I felt like we needed to talk about our top ones.
Yeah, I agree. I actually went back, watched a couple of them. That was a mistake.
Oh, you actually had time to do it. I didn't think you were actually going to do it.
I did. I watched 2 of the 4. The other 2 were pretty fresh in my mind.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah, I watched some YouTube clips, but for the most part, I'm doing this all off memory. You know how good my memory is.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
But I will say, I just want to point one thing out before we get into it. Did you ever notice, and I literally thought of this today, every 90s movie, or a good part of every 90s movie, had always an original song with a music video tied to it. Like Men in Black, Wild Wild West. I think Spawn had it too, like 9 Inch Nails.
Yep.
And Ninja Turtles, if you remember Vanilla Ice.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of crazy that basically it seems that the music industry very, very much was involved with the movie making process.
Yeah, like when I was watching one of the ones that I watched yesterday, I noticed the music like is all original, and it all had like a big name attached to it. Like this one was specifically AC/DC, and I was like, oh wow, in this shitty movie. But yeah, it's crazy. The 90s music had a lot more depth to it, I guess. It wasn't good, but at the time it was amazing.
Right, it wasn't good. The movies weren't good, but for some reason they just wanted to form this partnership. They're like, maybe it got to the point where like how it is kind of, I guess maybe with movies today where like everyone's kind of run out of ideas.
Yeah.
So the movie people in the 90s are like, hey, songwriter, you don't have anything to write about anymore. How about you write about this movie and come up with a song for it? And that's probably how it came about.
Yeah.
Like, do you really think Will Smith, the rapper, would have thought about rapping about aliens and Men in Black on his own? No.
No, they probably waved a fat check in front of him. And he was like, I can rap about anything for that much.
And same with Wild Wild West, honestly.
Wild Wild West was a bad song and a bad movie.
Cool music video, though.
Oh, yeah, cool music video.
I actually think that Wild Wild West music video is way better than the movie.
Yeah. I would agree. The music video is everything in the movie condensed into one cool, like 4-minute video.
That's true. Was it Salma Hayek in the music video too?
Yeah, it was.
There you go.
I think
it
so.
was condensed, actually. It actually was cooler. It seemed cooler. I think that's what Will Smith got to be Will Smith and not like the caricature Will Smith that they made him be in that movie.
Or in every movie.
Or in every movie. That's true. That's very true. All right, guys. Well, again, 90s heroic movies coming at you in 3, 2, 1. Get into it. All right. So my first one is honestly probably one of my favorite 90s movies, period. But it's Mask of Zorro.
Okay.
If you don't know Mask of Zorro, it's about Zorro, who I guess was a legend or a bandit of some sort during like the 1800s in Mexico, I think.
I think so, yeah.
So basically the movie goes, it's like we start off with Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins is in this movie. Antonio Banderas is in this movie. Catherine Zeta-Jones is in this movie. Great cast. Also, I'm glad to see 2 Welshmen in Catherine Zeta-Jones and Anthony Hopkins, who are cast as Spaniards because the 90s. I love the absolute whitewashing. Although I will say, for the longest time, I thought Catherine Zeta-Jones was Hispanic. So I was sold. I was 100% sold on her being not of white descent.
I thought she was too. Not now, but like in the past, in the 90s.
In the 90s, Catherine Zeta-Jones easily passes Hispanic for like a very long time.
Yeah, not today though.
No, I think with age, she like has shown her true colors or lack thereof, I guess.
Yeah, her true saturation.
Yeah. But yeah, so the story is about Zorro. Anthony Hopkins is old Zorro, and his whole family gets taken away. And then we jump to like the future where Antonio Banderas is like this little kid that like he met Anthony Hopkins when he was older. And it's just a good, fun adventure movie. It's got great action, great acting. And I really think it still holds up because Antonio Banderas is awesome in it. Anthony Hopkins is awesome in it. It's pretty funny as well. It has like all the heroic moments. It's like guys in the dumps finds like the vet to teach him. We get training montages.
Oh yeah.
And then,
that was another thing I noticed. All the training montages in these 90s movies, you can't have a 90s movie without a training montage.
It's very formulaic, but it's just so good. I don't know what it is. Like
it is, yeah. That's something that's lacking from today's movies is montages.
I will agree. Yeah, I don't think there's that many montages nowadays.
And if they do a montage, it's usually like satire. It's never like a serious thing anymore.
Or it's like a remake, like for instance, Creed. I know it's not a remake, but Creed had training montages.
Okay, well that makes
sense.
I
but it's like calling back to like the 80s,
all the Rocky movies.
Yeah, all the Rocky movies. So, we get training montages. funny bouts and like how he like Anthony Hopkins teaches Antonio Banderas how to be like a gentleman and like how to present himself. Because if you don't know, Antonio Banderas in the beginning of the movie is like a scumbag, like horse thief. Like he's he has no sense of class or just how to be like a normal person, not like trash. And then we get we get dancing and we get this amazing the fucking horse chase in this movie. So he's like jumping on different horses. He's riding two horses, like one leg is on top of one horse's back, the other leg is on top of another horse's back. He's doing flips, tricks. It's an amazing scene. If you've never seen it, I would definitely recommend looking it up. But overall, I mean, the movie still holds up.
That's good.
And it might be one of the 90s period pieces that doesn't feel horribly 90s. Except for like the ignorant casting, I guess. But that aside, I mean, it doesn't feel like, oh god, this is so in the 90s, even though they're trying to pretend like it's 1800 something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Every time I watch an episode of Wishbone, I'm like, god damn, this is so 90s. Even though they're in like 1400 or whatever. Yeah,
exactly. Oh, and then also we get the original music video by Mark Anthony. Because they had to get at least I give them credit to at least getting a Hispanic person.
They're like, who's a Latin singer? And they're like, Ricky Martin or Mark Anthony. And they're like, all right, just flip
which both
coin.
happen to be Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Not Mexican at all. Although, in their defense, I guess, Selena was dead. Yeah. I guess I can't really think of any other Mexican male singer in the 90s.
Yeah. No.
But like the hot guys in the streets were definitely Ricky Martin and Mark Anthony for sure.
Right.
But Ricky Martin more so.
Oh yeah. They probably went to Ricky Martin first. He turned it down and they got Mark Anthony.
Yeah. I feel like Mark Anthony got more popular when he started riding the coattails of J-Lo.
Yeah. And then Ricky Martin crashed hard.
He did, but he still looks young as fuck. Have you seen him recently?
He does look good, yeah.
He's ageless.
Yeah.
He's ageless. But anyway, yeah. So I guess final thoughts on Mask of Zorro.
Love Mask of Zorro. It's been 20 years plus that I've seen it.
Yeah, I think it came out in 96. Fuck.
I think I saw it in theaters and then saw it one more time after that, and then I haven't seen it since.
Yeah, I don't blame you because it's honestly pretty difficult to find. I mean, I guess you could rent it, but I meant like for free because fuck that. I will say one last thing before we close up this part. The score of the movie by James Horner is, and I know you and I are very much in tune with scores. This might be one of my favorite James Horner. James Horner did like a lot of like the James Cameron movies like Titanic and
yeah.
I think he did Avatar as well. But the James, it's good with the period. It's like very like has like that Mexican influence, but it's just a very good score. Great theme too. So I would recommend the first track, which is Plaza of Execution. It gets you hyped. I'm not gonna lie, gets you pretty hyped.
I've said this before. We're the only people that get hyped for listening to scores.
That's true. Oh, my brothers. I feel like there's more people than you think.
Okay.
So if there's a demographic, let us know what you think about the score talk.
Yeah. Do you get hyped up and hit the gym and listen to scores? Or?
Yeah. Let us know.
So going off of yours, like I watched Mask of Zorro, but I was a young kid and that wasn't really my jam.
Okay.
My jam in the 90s was Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
I'm talking about the first Ninja Turtle movie.
1990.
Just going off of the heroic stuff that they do. First of all, they're fucking turtles.
That's heroic as fuck.
That is heroic. I feel like they would get a medal today just for being like that.
No, they totally would.
Yeah. So I'm not talking about the ruined ones from fucking Michael Bay.
Did those come out in the 90s too?
No, God.
Okay.
I just wanted to specify. But so I went back and watched most of this movie. I didn't have time to watch all of it. And The movie itself still kind of holds up because the practical effect, like they're all in suits and stuff.
Right, the puppet suits.
But also I watched it in HD. So I saw like the faces in the masks. I saw like all of the seams in the things, and it just doesn't hold up. And it's sad. It made me really sad.
Right, because they're not like organic, right?
No. They're rubber.
Well, they're
as
not
fuck.
like organic. Yeah, it just looks like a Godzilla suit.
Yeah, it looks horrible. And you could tell that it's like really bad animatronics for the mouth.
Oh yeah, and the eyes. Don't forget the eyes.
Yeah, like the blinking in the eyes. It's like they have somebody counting and they just like push the button every couple seconds and it's just like robotic blinking.
What do they do when like they're lying? So it's like blinking like 20 times in
Yeah.
a couple seconds.
Yeah, basically it did. Yeah.
That's funny. I was gonna say this reminds me of a story. Speaking of Ninja Turtle suits, Marissa was a huge Ninja Turtles fan. Her and her brother were huge Ninja Turtles fans back in the 90s, and her mom brought them both to a Ninja Turtles concert in full Ninja Turtle outfits.
What was this? Was it Vanilla Ice?
I don't know if it was Vanilla Ice, honestly. I just know it was a concert that had Ninja Turtles in it. Like, you know, like those
Like
Barney, like Barney had like the concert, and I guess the Ninja Turtle. And I even see it now. Like there's like a Avengers Assemble like concert with like these like fucking broke ass actors that need like a paycheck. So they do these stupid little, it just looks like every person on like Hollywood Boulevard got together and made a show. Because it's like Spider-Man and like really shitty like New Balances, like ripped apart New Balances.
It's like off Broadway.
Right. So yeah, as you can imagine in the 90s, as this was tripled, probably just because the quality of the costumes is way shittier. So you're going to like a Ninja Turtles concert. But she was dressed up as a Ninja Turtle, and I'm like, I feel like I've seen the pictures, and they're quite comical. I think she one is rough. No, maybe her brother one is Raphael. I know everyone always wants to be the red one, which is Raphael.
Yeah.
Maybe she was
Was she older?
Michelangelo.
Or younger?
Oh, her brother's older.
Then she definitely wasn't Raphael.
Yeah, that's like first pick.
Yeah, my older brother was always Raphael.
I know, that's like when my cousin, he was always the Red Ranger. I always had to be fucking Billy.
Fucking Billy. Nerd.
Yeah, so
how did she dress up? Was it like turtle shell green face outfit or what?
I don't think it was green face. It was probably like one of those like just masks with the rubber band attached to it. You know.
That's a fucking 90s costume right there.
Also, it's a 90s costume, but then you can even do like the bandana just by itself on like a white face.
Oh,
and I feel like you'll still get away with that.
I think so. Yeah, dress in like a gi and an orange headband, and you're fucking Michelangelo.
Yeah,
you could just tell people and get
that's
the
like
size.
the bro kid. That's like the bro kid 90s costume.
Oh yeah, hands
but
down.
Yeah, so the movie though. I mean, aside from like the shitty puppets, how was everything else?
Aside from the shittiness, I love a 90s movie with karate, and you'll notice this common theme in all of my picks. The karate in general to me is a 90s thing. You know what I'm talking about? It's like everybody in the 90s knew karate.
I think that's even like a joke with Austin Powers, right? It's like he knows like judo, like judo chop, like it's everything. Well, that's the 90s, right? Everything revolved around martial arts, tribal tattoos.
Yeah.
Everything within like
puka shells.
Like puka shells, like Asian lettering, Asian tattoos.
There's probably a lot of adults
like
in the
letter.
90s that had like Asian letters on them that are like 80 today that it's not looking pretty on them.
80?
Maybe 50?
I would say 50.
Yeah, 50. 80 is a little much.
Maybe they were
like 60 when they got these tattoos. Yeah. So the movie holds up in terms of the karate and everything else except for the costumes. Like the acting holds up. It's like totally 90s. The dialogue is 90s.
The acting holds up. I mean, obviously, well,
The acting holds up for what it is.
90s. They have 90s like I don't know voices, but like 90s like dialect.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of
sure.
tubulars and
Yeah.
like a lot of like cool kid speech, like cool 90s kid speech.
What people thought was cool kid speech, because I never said any of those words. I don't know who the fuck was saying those words.
I never knew anyone who said those words either. Honestly.
I never said radical. Tubular is just like insane to me that people actually said that.
I don't think they must have really just been, there must have been some conspiracy where everyone was like, we need kids to say these words, and it just never stuck.
Yeah, like Hollywood's
That's
like running this campaign about getting kids to say certain words.
First of all, that's way too many syllables for a child.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, tubular? That's a fucking essay.
That's a word. And kids want to say like the shortest amount of syllables possible, and that is not it.
Yeah. None of any words in the 90s was the short little kid word. Cool. I guess cool stuck. I mean, cool definitely stuck. We
Cool
still say
did
it
suck.
these days.
But didn't they say that before? Wasn't that like an 80s or 70s thing? Cool.
I think cool is definitely a 90s thing. I could be wrong though.
Okay.
I feel like there were still a lot of movies where like, why were kids saying cool? What's always with cool?
Yeah, that does. Yeah.
I feel like that's like a 90s like stereotypical like parent.
That is a 90s thing. Yeah, that is a 90s parent thing to say. I could have swore I've heard that in Saved by the Bell before.
I mean, you could be right. I could be completely wrong, but I guess whatever. So Raphael had a red bandana on his face. My next character also had a red bandana on his mouth, and that's the Shadow. So I don't know if you remember me saying this in Mask of Zorro, how a period piece didn't feel like it was in the 90s. Well, guess what? This movie takes place in the 1930s, except it feels like The Room set 90s, like the very like it's clearly like a 90s shitty set.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. When I saw this in theaters, I could tell. I was like, this is fucking plywood with some windows cut out. This is not believable. It took me out of the entire movie.
I'm actually very happy that you know of this movie, because honestly, even though it's definitely not the best, but I'm going to make a little bit of an argument that it was kind of like a stepping stone to what I feel like if a Marvel movie were made back in the 90s, this is how it would look, which is not good. But at the same time, I feel like if the Shadow were put into today's time, it probably would be okay. It'd probably be like a decent run-of-the-mill like superhero action movie.
Yeah, if it was made with today's technology. Right. But I also think it would be like Great Gatsby kind of bullshit.
Yeah, maybe. So if people who out there don't know the story, so basically Alec Baldwin, it's like after World War One, and for some reason he becomes like a drug kingpin. Do you remember that? He's like an evil like drug like, and again they went real racist with it because he wore like very Asian garb, and he just pretended to be Asian, I guess. So he's actually captured by Buddhists, and he learns to be good and gains powers by becoming the Shadow. And then he ends up battling Genghis Khan's like grandson or something, which is John Lone, who, if you don't know who John Lone is, he's Ricky Tan in Rush Hour 2, because that's all I know is Ricky Tan.
Yeah.
So, and he's trying, and like his evil plan is trying to build an atomic bomb. It's very like 30s pulp, like stupid hero, stupid villain, but I still had fun with it. And it's funny because like the titular character, like the Shadow, his name in the movie, like his real name in the movie, is probably like the most 30s name I've ever heard, which is Lamont Cranston. That's like Jay Gatsby.
He sounds like a fucking bitch. That's all I gotta say.
I think Lamont Cranston may have more money than Jay Gatsby. No one's named Lamont Cranston. You know his name is like Jeff Bigsby or something. When he became rich, it was Lamont Cranston. Not only does he need to look like an asshole, when he says his name, you'll be like, damn, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Which is Lamont Cranston. But like I said, I mean, it feels kind of like a precursor to superhero movies. I mean, it's super campy, and the CGI definitely looks fucking terrible. I don't know if you remember the bridge scene.
I don't.
Where it's like, okay.
The only thing I really remember from that movie is the cars. I was really interested in the cars in that movie.
Okay. All right, cool. So there's a scene on the bridge where they have like this like Asian scientist guy and these like gangster looking dudes are roughing him up, or I think they're going to kill him. They have his like feet on a cement block and they're going to throw him over the bridge. So it's very like stupid, but the Shadow shows up and he starts beating the guys up, but like as like kind of like a, again, shadowy figure, but like he's like half invisible, half not. Very, I guess he's got a very like phantom-y look. Like you could kind of see through him, and he's like picking people up and he's putting them over the bridge. And when they show the green screen, it looks like the green screen is just like a painting. But it's clearly a green screen. I think it would have been better if they just used a painting rather than a green screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really terrible. And this always, so I always think of that specific scene because after he beats up all the goons, he goes up to like the Asian dude that's in like the cement, his feet are in the cement. And he does this really dramatic, like, he like whips out his pistols. And then like the Asian guy's like, no. And then he starts like shooting, but like ridiculous, where he's like basically like throwing the gun at you while he's shooting. Like
God.
He's like pointing and shooting. And it's just going forever. And they cut back from him shooting to the Asian guy's face. And he's like, oh, like it's very terrible. But then when the Shadow is done, he like takes his guns and then again like quickly puts them away. And the Asian guy looks down and the cement block is like all rubble and his feet are freed, which begs the question of, did the Shadow not think that the bullets wouldn't shoot through his like feet and legs?
What kind of bullets? First of all, what kind of bullets shoot through cement? Is he
break it
using
apart?
Is he using like 44 Magnum like armor piercing rounds that are going through the cement?
I would assume.
I'd be worried about the ricochet and getting killed myself.
I would as well. But yeah,
that's
so
like a fear of mine. Every time I shoot a gun, I'm like, this is gonna ricochet and kill me. That's like every time I'm shooting a gun that goes through my head. Even when there's nothing that's like metal or anything to
even
ricochet
if you're like
off
out in the
of.
desert, nothing.
Yeah, out in the desert, in a shooting range. Every time.
Also, do you remember the line, the sun is shining, but the ice is slippery?
Yes.
Okay. All right. At least you remember like the best part of the movie. And anytime Alec Baldwin's like reading your mind, it goes to like shadow and it's just light on his, I guess, like forehead and eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. He's got like a whole cast of characters that helps him out. He's got like a taxi driver that's like his chauffeur, and then this girl that's his love interest, that she's like a socialite that has like telepathic powers, which is Penelope Ann Miller. And he's also kind of like a Bruce Wayne, like again, rich guy,
right?
Dresses up at night. Although one thing that's always weird is how he has like a fucked up face when he becomes a Shadow. It's like long and he's got a big ass nose. I don't know what was up with that.
Somebody was trying some shit in the post-production offices.
Oh yeah. So there's another scene, and this is the part where Alec Baldwin's like training. He is in the Buddhist temple, and he has, again, and I will explain this to you because we've touched on this before, evil nails.
Oh yeah.
when he's evil in the beginning. And if you guys don't know what evil nails are, he has basically like pointy witch nails. They're, as Alec Baldwin, a human man with like pointy ass witch nails that are like painted. They're like, I don't know. They looked red. They just look like evil nails. I don't know how else to really put it, but there's like a flying dagger that has a mouth that bites him and has a face on it. It's a very weird movie. It's very bad, but it's still like kind of like a guilty pleasure because I honestly laugh when I watch it, which I guess it shouldn't really be the reaction you should be having, but all the same, it's quite an entertaining movie. No original song though, so that's the one bummer.
That is a bummer, but they probably couldn't get anybody to they couldn't even get Mark Anthony.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Dick Tracy level bad if we're gonna like bring it to like a 30s-esque movie.
Yeah,
but it's not good. But I mean, I still enjoy it. I still am a fan of it. I still think Alec Baldwin's great. So it's hard for me not to like this movie despite its many flaws.
I honestly didn't even remember that it was Alec Baldwin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did not remember until you just told me.
Wow. Okay. Well, clearly a forgettable movie.
It was, in my opinion, yes.
I would still recommend watching clips of it because it's quite hilarious. I will say I'll give them credit for the usage of like mini models, and there's this part where he gets in a cab and they're driving like down like a city, like the city that he lives in, and it's night and it's like a little toy car that drives under like a above ground subway, and it's clearly like a toy subway. And then lightning comes across, and you could see like how the buildings are literally like cut out pieces of cardboard. I'm not even lying. It's really crazy. Like there's like depth, but not in a good way.
Wow. I wonder if they had like no budget.
It honestly, I feel like this movie would be if some kid in high school would make it today.
Yeah.
It would look like a 90s Shadow movie.
Fuck.
Which can either say that this movie was not ahead of its time, or that we're just so into the future that a kid in high school can make basically like a big budget or like medium budget 90s picture.
Yeah. I almost feel
Which
like
is
kids
crazy.
nowadays could make something way better than that.
Oh yeah, for
with
sure.
an iPhone, with a fucking iPhone and the onboard microphone. Like they could make.
That's true. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they made the film to be like a 30s style movie, because that kind of reminds me of the 30s movies, where everything's like really cheesily done. The backgrounds are really cheesily done.
Yeah, I guess that's possible. I guess maybe they meant it to be that way. I guess no one got it though.
Yeah, nobody probably got it because the movie was just. In the 90s, you couldn't do that type of stuff because
that's like a Wes Anderson move.
Especially the green screen technology. Like they weren't really doing a lot with that technology.
No, they weren't.
In the 90s. So you would have been better off just using paint.
You would have. And like again, that's like a Wes Anderson move. Like very
it is
stylistic.
Yeah.
I feel like if this movie was in today's world and it was like The Shadow directed by Wes Anderson, immediate Oscar contender.
Yes. By the way, do you ever follow the subreddit Accidental Wes Anderson?
No.
It's very funny. It's people that find like Wes Anderson looking things in the real world.
I'm going to subscribe to that.
And you wonder like what that means, but once you look at the subreddit, you'll know. You'll be like, oh my god, that looks like something Wes Anderson would do.
What is it called? Wes Anderson?
Accidental Wes Anderson. So, John, you'll see a common theme with pretty much all of my picks today.
Okay.
So first I had Ninja Turtles. My next one is Three Ninjas. And heroic as fuck movie. I'll go over the plot. Tell me if this shit ain't heroic. So this is one that I watched recently, and Jesus Christ, it doesn't hold up. It was painful to get through. I was like, oh my god, is this over? which is sad because it was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
I honestly don't even remember this movie. Although I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
You had to have seen it.
It's like the little white kid, right?
It's 3 little white kids.
That become ninjas, right?
Right.
They okay.
Yeah. So
That's basically like a 90s kid's dream. This is a 90s movie.
oh yeah.
3 little white kids that look white as fuck, but like 90s white, that want to be ninjas, which is the coolest thing. First of all, it's the hottest Halloween costume from 1990 to basically like probably 2001.
I don't know, when did Scream come out?
Ooh, shit. I forgot about
Because
Scream.
yeah.
Okay, well, Ninja was up there, though.
Ninja was up there from like 90 to 96, I would say.
No, I would say at least tonight. Okay, I'm going to say before Star Wars Episode 1.
No.
So 90
no. I'm saying
90
Ninja
to
96, and then Power Rangers 96 to 99, Star Wars from 99 to 2000.
forever.
Yeah, probably forever. Yeah. It's just such an easy costume.
It is. All right, so 3 ninjas.
Anyways, back to 3 ninjas. So these 3 little white kids are brothers, and their grandfather is not white.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, his grandfather is Japanese.
Yeah.
Are we sure these kids are white?
In the movie, the mom is like half Chinese or half Chinese. Japanese? Fuck.
I think she's Japanese.
Is that
ninjas
racist
are from Japan.
Is it racist if I don't know?
Maybe.
So he's Asian. I'll just say that he's Asian. The
Okay,
mom,
so these kids aren't white.
I think they're like a quarter Asian, but they're fucking white. The actors are white.
Hold on, I'm looking at the cast. Hold on. Oh, no, just kidding. All of the kids are white, and the Japanese grandfather is Chinese. So technically, you were not racist. You were able to determine that he is, in fact, his actual ethnicity, not the one that racist Hollywood has made him.
I did it inadvertently.
Okay. All right. So, yes, 3 white kids that somehow are not white.
Yes, their Asian grandfather teaches them karate, of course, and gives them all sweet nicknames: Rocky, Colt, Tom Tom.
Tum Tum. Yeah.
Fuck that name though.
I will say before you get it, like, again, with the 90s, if you have a white person, they're just like, that person's Asian now, and that was just accepted.
Yeah.
With no blackface, no like Asian face, I guess, or whatever
Yellow face.
that is. Yellow face, like brown face. It's just like, this guy is Asian now.
Yeah. It's like sitting in a movie theater. It takes like a minute.
Like, is that racist though?
It takes
Yeah,
a minute to
it's-
click, and you're like, oh, that guy's supposed to be Asian. Now he's just in my mind. He's Asian. Like, that's how it was in the 90s. Now it's like, they didn't get a fucking Asian guy to play this role.
Yeah, seriously.
So anyways, grandfather teaches him karate at his little getaway
Yeah, the summer
forest area thing where I don't know how the fuck he pays for that. But he eventually gets kidnapped, and the kids have to be pretty fucking heroic to get this motherfucker back.
right, because he gets captured by ninjas, right?
He gets captured by ninjas, which is like standard ninja movie plot. And the head ninja, for some reason, hires some horrible stoner surfer guys who say the 90s catchphrases like tubular and bogus and bummer and like just 90s shit.
Right.
And basically the movie revolves around the kids fucking with these 3 idiots that are trying to kidnap the kids, basically. Or
Right.
they're actually trying to kill them because they have a gun.
Okay.
So they're trying to straight up murder them. And the only thing I remember about this movie is at one point he puts one of the kids puts like diarrhea medicine in one of the sodas and like just hands it to the guy, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I'll drink this." Chugs it and then has a shit attack for the rest of the movie. Like, he's on the toilet for the rest of the movie. And the sound effects are horrible. It's like it's one of those movies, like, you know, in Batman, when he like throws a guy into a group of guys, it makes like the bowling pin falling down.
Yeah, it's
Sound
very
effect.
like yeah.
This movie is full of those ridiculous sound effects.
I
And
think they were supposed to be stupid though.
they were supposed to be the guys. Yeah, they were supposed to be stupid. It's just the sound effects are just like
Oh, okay.
that's
Okay,
what took
gotcha.
me out of the movie, not the ridiculousness of it.
Oh, do you remember the scene? Because now I'm remembering the basketball scene against the bullies.
Yes, I do remember that.
It was like a game of horse or something, right?
No, it was a legitimate basketball game.
Oh, it was okay.
It
was.
was. It was 2-on-2. It was Rocky and Colt versus some fat kid and a tall kid. And
If anything, they're just smart because
yeah, they made it seem like the basketball that they were playing in the scene was amazing. Like they made it seem like these kids are the shit. And you watch them and they're just like any person that has any coordination could beat these kids. But after the game, like he gets the girl and it's like this whole thing about how
he
he's
gets
so
the
good.
bike back, right?
Yeah, he
'Cause
gets his
the
bike
bike
back.
still.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm surprised I know more about this movie than I led to believe.
Yeah. It all comes back to
This
it.
is it's terrible. It's really
Yeah, it sucks because I love this movie. Every time it came on TNT or TBS, I was always watching this movie.
I was gonna say I didn't see this one in theaters.
No, I definitely didn't see it in theater.
Did it even come out in theaters?
It did, yeah.
Oh wow. That's
All three of them did.
oh god.
Yeah, the third one was with Hulk Hogan.
Three Ninjas Kick Back.
No, it's
Mega Mountain?
yes.
It is Mega Mountain. Whew.
Yeah,
There's
it is.
there's 4 of these fucking things.
Are there? Knuckle Up, Kick
Kick Back and High Noon.
and High Noon. Yeah. Yeah, there are 4.
Wow.
Oh god. And
Yeah.
there was only one kid I think that was in 3 of them. Every other time the kids were changed.
Wasn't it the main one, Rocky? Wasn't he in all of them?
Colt. The blue guy.
Colt was in
Colt was the one that was in 3 of the 4.
Yeah, he wasn't in High Noon.
No,
with
he wasn't.
Hulk. That was all new kids, right?
Yeah. They were all
But
new
wait, but
kids
the
except-
Japanese dude, I mean the Chinese guy,
yeah,
the
he was
grandfather.
he was in it, yeah. He was in all of them.
Yeah, because they recast all the kids. It's not like it was new kids. They just
Yeah.
recast different white kids. And again, we were just supposed to accept, okay, this new white kid is a
Exactly. Nowadays when that happens, it's like, God damn, they got fucking Don Cheadle. and back in the 90s it was like, oh, is this the same kid? I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same kid.
that was the best part because they all looked alike and they just got like a bunch of different little white kids.
That's probably how they casted the first movie. They're like, just get me the most fucking generic looking white people you can find.
Right, that we could just replace. With.
Yeah, that are easily replaceable. They're not very good at acting, so not very hard search.
Nope, not hard at all. I will say, this is pretty sad because the guy who plays Mr. Tanaka, which of course his last name is Tanaka, because that's the only like Japanese name that Hollywood knows. This was the Three Ninjas High Noon was his last movie
No shit.
before he died. Yeah.
I could have swore that I saw him in so much stuff.
Nope. That was
Wow.
his last movie, Three Ninjas with Hulk Hogan.
Damn, what a legacy.
And he was third billed.
Jeez.
Also, and just a little fun fact: this movie grossed $375,000.
Hey, that
How
was
is
back in
that-
the 90s. That's like $20 million today.
No, it's not. It's trust me, it's not.
Damn.
Oh god.
That's disappointing. Well, it's one of those cult classics where it doesn't do very well, but it gets that following on VHS.
Yeah,
Because I know I didn't see this in theaters.
Yeah, same. So, and it's funny that you say has a following on VHS. I feel like a lot of movies have a following on VHS.
A lot of 90s movies were VHS heavy movies for me.
Yeah, which is funny because everyone says that this time is like the home, like streaming, like everyone's streaming now, so it's like don't go to the movies anymore.
I disagree.
I feel like the 90s is way bigger into that.
Honestly, yeah, because like I have Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime right now. I went to Blockbuster more as a kid than I watched Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime.
Yep, agreed. 100% agreed. Speaking of which, my next movie is also one that I saw on VHS, and I absolutely love it. And this is a movie that is, I'm going to tell you, it's a bad movie, but it's a great movie because it's definitely my top movies, one of my top 90s movies. It actually also deals with the shadowy figure, which could also be described as a phantom, aka the Phantom with Billy Zane.
No.
With Billy Zane.
Fuck that movie.
If you don't know the Phantom, first of all, the box art on the VHS is amazing because it's Billy Zane in the purple costume with the skull ring, which, by the way, I had the skull ring.
Wow.
And it says "Smash Evil." So that's one of my favorite box arts because it's ridiculous and so 90s. But yeah, so it's the Phantom. If you guys never seen the Phantom, it is with Billy Zane.
Holy shit, it's a
And-
comic. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's again based off a 1930s pulp comic where a man in a purple suit fights in the jungles of Tingala or something like that. It's a very like generic, let's make an made up African nation name, and that's where he lives. And he has a white horse and a wolf, and he fights grave robbers and poachers, and it's a fucking awesome movie. It's not very good, but it's funny because I feel like a lot of the 90s superhero movies were very obsessed with pulp comics rather than Marvel or DC.
Yeah.
It seems they kind of went, they didn't even like really pay attention to anything. I don't know, I guess Batman kind of falls under that, but so yeah, I think this movie actually did more on home video sales than it did in ticket sales.
I actually saw this in theaters. I
You did?
hated the movie so much. I never saw it again.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen this movie, man. I've seen it so many times.
So I already hated it when I was like 6. There's no way that I can go back and watch it and maybe like it. There's no way.
Yeah, so the movie starts with like this like pirate, like these pirates, these like Chinese pirates that have these skulls of power. And then somehow the skulls of power make it to like Africa, and Billy Zane's father was like the old Phantom who would like fight against bad guys. There's a lot of really poor action scenes, but they're just so entertaining to watch. Like he gets in like a truck chase, and he's fighting James Remar, which if you don't know who James Remar is, he's Dexter's dad in the TV show Dexter. But he's
Yeah.
also Raiden in Mortal Kombat 2. In Mortal Kombat 2.
Yes, the second one.
And this also had Catherine Zeta-Jones in it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Catherine Zeta-Jones was a sky pirate / other love interests for the Phantom, along with, I forget the main, like the good, because she's like a bad, Catherine Zeta-Jones is a bad guy. But yeah, so he's looking for these skulls, and there's like this really shitty, horrible villain who's like, hello, like very mid-Atlantic, like a transatlantic accent, like the 1930s accent.
Yeah.
I remember
hate
this
that.
specific.
I hate that accent.
I remember this specific scene where because he's like a bad guy, and he makes some guy look in a microscope, and he tells him to zoom the microscope, and he zooms it, and there's like blades that come out of the microscope where you put your eyes, and it like stabs him in the eyes. A lot of stupid moments in that movie. But yeah, they're magic skulls, and they shoot lasers, and I mean, none of this movie is good or has a very coherent, cohesive story.
I'm actually looking through pictures of Billy Zane in this costume.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's funny because Billy Zane and the director were both fans of the comic, and they like Billy Zane actually petitioned for it against Bruce Campbell. Interestingly enough,
Who's Bruce Campbell?
Bruce Campbell is the guy who is on all the Ash, the Evil Dead.
Oh, okay.
He's Ash in Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And also Joel Schumacher was supposed to direct this movie.
Fuck that.
Which
it could have been worse. It could have been worse.
It could have been a lot worse. But the purple costume, the Phantom. So you're definitely not a fan.
I'm not a fan. I hated the costume. I hated the movie. I'm not a Billy Zane fan.
I don't think many people are. I'm pretty sure like my best Billy Zane moments are this movie and Zoolander, where it's Billy Zane
and Titanic.
Listener pal Billy Zane. Like when he's like, no, don't do it, Derek. He's like, I got this, Billy Zane. That's my. Oh yeah, Titanic. How could I forget?
Those are the only two movies I remember him from.
That's pretty bad that my fondest memories of Billy Zane are The Phantom and Zoolander as a cameo as himself.
Yeah. Like a 22-year-old movie and a stupid movie.
Yeah. Billy Zane is in Back to the Future. He's one of Biff's goons.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the greaser guy with the leather jacket. That was actually, I think, his first movie.
Huh.
So, yeah. Billy Zane. I'm a big fan of this movie. It's not good. Like I don't recommend anyone to watch it, but if you did watch it and did like it, I like you. You're my friend.
I didn't like it, so do you not like me?
No, that's fine. I understand. Trust me, I completely understand. Like I probably wouldn't rewatch this movie, but I remember a lot of moments in it, but they're not any moments that really have any sort of substance. I just remember him being on planes and
on horseback
with the wolf and using the skull ring, shooting out a laser. Oh, I remember the guy from Mortal Kombat is in it. Shang Tsung. He's the pirate king at the end. When it kind of does like a Goonies thing. They go into like a mysterious island where there's like a pirate ship in a cave.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of like Chinese pirates with swords and they're all like immortal and stuff.
Yeah.
They probably reused the Goonies set.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's the Phantom. I know it's hated, but final
it's a
thoughts.
Guilty pleasure. It's a guilty pleasure for you.
Yeah.
I hated the movie, couldn't get into it. But it is a movie. It's a movie in the 90s. With the hero, so it does fit our episode. That's all I'll say about the movie.
Okay, fair enough.
So my next one is another fucking ninja movie.
God.
It's Surf Ninjas.
Jesus Christ.
So I actually rewatched this movie, and to give you a little insight into how bad this movie is, it was on YouTube. Like the whole entire movie, no ads. I watched it yesterday, and again, this was another one of my favorite movies as a kid, and
dude, you can't hate on me for Phantom. Like Jesus.
After watching Surf Ninja, I question my movie liking ability. Especially when I was a kid. Because this movie...
I question it now.
This movie also had like the best... It was like the 90s movie. So it had the baggy, colorful clothes. It had...
Rob Schneider. And Leslie Nielsen.
Who plays a Chinese guy.
Again, I just...
Maybe one of the whitest old men ever plays a Chinese guy.
Isn't he the bad guy?
He is the bad guy, yeah. He's like half cyborg, half regular man. But he wears like traditional Chinese garb,
clothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
warrior clothing.
Yeah, I would say so.
So the movie also features something that I never had as a kid and always wanted, and my parents never got it for me for Christmas. It was a Sega Game Gear. And yeah. So the little kid uses the Sega Game Gear to like,
and it controls what's happening.
Yeah, it controls what's happening. Kind of like that South Park episode where Kenny controls the battle between hell and heaven.
Right.
Same premise. They probably stole it from not Three Ninjas. I got my ninja
Surf
movies mixed up.
Three surfing ninjas.
So, all right, I watched this movie, so it's very fresh in my mind. And this has the most amount of 90s word references I've ever heard. I thought it's like Ninja Turtles and Three Ninjas combined to make this like 90s. Every word out of their mouth is like some 90s slang word.
Plus, you have the commercialization with the Sega Game Gear, which is peak 90s.
Oh, yeah. Because
there was the video game, right? Didn't they actually have the video game
for it?
Yes,
there was a video game for it. Again, I never had it because I never had a Game Gear. But
that's neither here nor there.
So they basically find out that they are royalty living with this white guy, and they don't explain it up front. They just make it seem like he's their dad. And as soon as it shows it, I'm like, okay, this guy is not Asian. Why the fuck is he their dad? But it turns out they were adopted, and they're like royalty of some sort on this fictional Asian island. And they basically have to fight these ninjas who are trying to kill them because they don't want the king to return to the homeland.
Isn't the king Leslie Nielsen?
No, the king. Well, he's in charge now, but the king is the kid. The fuck's his name? Oh god, he was like in
Johnny.
Ernie Reyes. No,
yeah, because it was like the two of the same guys, right?
Yeah, Ernie Reyes is, and he did like a ninja show on MTV in the 2000s. So he's like a legit martial arts expert.
Yeah, no, I think they both are, aren't they?
Yeah, him and his dad. Yeah. They're both in this movie, like the main characters of the movie.
Well, his dad is the guy with the eye patch.
Yes.
Okay.
And so Rob Schneider is there the entire time making these ridiculous comments. And I wanted to turn it off. Honestly, I wanted to turn it off, but I tried to power through it. Get through all the fucking Rob Schneider in this movie. The movie itself was actually decent. It was better than Three Ninjas. I'll say that.
Okay.
So basically they go back to the island and...
Well, this has like two somewhat actors.
Yeah.
I mean, Leslie Nielsen is is definitely...
Yeah.
Rob Schneider, this was like probably his audition tape to get onto Happy Madison production company.
Yeah.
The Adam Sandler posse.
It's kind of funny because this movie is like a classic 90s movie. I'll explain in a second. So
okay.
At the first time that they're attacked, the guy with the eye patch, the guy who's watching over these three guys or kids, lights a candle and turns on the oven and blows the house up. And it's like this hilarious thing. Oh, fuck, you blew the house up. But there's like 11 people in the house that died just then. And it's like hilariously funny. And nobody ever says like, oh, we just killed everybody that was in that house.
Right.
Later on in the movie, they're just like killing everybody. They throw a stick of dynamite at a car and blow it up with like 10 people in it. And they're like high-fiving and stuff. I'm like, what the I don't remember this from the 90s, but apparently it is a thing. Where like murder and killing like wasn't that big a deal, so it was just like skated over.
It was like, oh, they're so it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, they're bad guys, so it's no big deal. But yeah, it's the amount of murder. There's like 100 people that probably die in this movie. And it's a PG movie.
Again, just the rating systems in the 90s were just if it wasn't like a genocide, it was rated PG. Like Schindler's List made the R rating.
Barely,
but it was
probably.
Like, it was like okay, 6 million Jews, fine. 100 people, we'll give it. It's okay. For
Yeah.
kids. It's good enough for kids.
Yeah, it's like 1 to 100. It's PG. Okay, but this movie was so racist because this movie taught me that every Asian person ever knows karate. Because literally in the movie, every Asian person is like a fucking ninja. They're at the beach one day. It's all white people.
Are they on an Asian island though?
No, not in the beginning. Like half the movie takes place in California.
Oh, that's right. They go to L.A.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They're in LA and then they go
Still
to
a lot of Asians in L.A. though.
Yeah, but every one
But
of them
they
knows
don't all-
karate.
No, they don't.
So they're at the beach and there's an random Asian person who just happens to know karate, and then every Asian person in the entire movie, no white people, know karate. All the Asian people. Leslie Nielsen doesn't know anything. He fucking dies like immediately.
They throw him in water or something.
They throw him in water and he gets electrocuted. And it's like they're like high-fiving after he just got electrocuted.
That's also a total 90s move too. Like, we just did something. Everyone high five. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, surfing it, I mean, I will say this is more of a interesting. Do they ever surf in the movie?
They do multiple times.
Okay.
Which I am a big fan of because Fast and Furious can go fuck itself because they never race in the movies anymore.
That's true. They don't.
Yeah, at least Surf Ninjas stuck to
The title.
the whole surfing aspect.
Yeah. Fast and the Furious does not take the fast into consideration.
No, just the Furious.
Just the Furious. I mean, technically they do go fast, I suppose. Yeah, they really went with the over commercialization on this. I like how it's always stated that it was the Sega Game Gear.
Yes. And he's always like, the kid's always like, oh, my Game Gear. My Sega Game Gear. It's never like my...
Trademark.
Yeah.
My Sega Game Gear, trademark.
Yeah, it's never like my video game or something. It's just like...
Yeah. Well, speaking of commercialization, and I had plenty of figures from this movie, I wanted to go with Batman and Robin, but honestly, that was going to be more of a joke. And I actually like this next movie. And I know I'm 100% ready to take the hate for this, but I'm going to go with Batman Forever as one of my first of all, maybe not my top Batman 90s, but it's definitely the better of the Joel Schumacher 2, which is not saying much.
Is that the fourth one?
That
Batman
is
Forever.
the third.
The third one with Val Kilmer. Okay, yeah.
Well, Val Kilmer, yeah. So this is actually one of my most watched movies as a kid. And again, it's got a good cast. I mean, Val Kilmer I thought he was pretty good as Bruce Wayne in Batman. Yeah. Jim Carrey was hilarious as the Riddler. Tommy Lee Jones, he was great too. I will say he didn't play Two-Face the way he was supposed to be. Shout out to my man Aaron Eckhart though. The chiselest chin in the movie business.
Yeah.
He fucking killed it as Two-Face in Dark Knight. But
so what do you mean about Tommy Lee Jones? Like what was off about him?
He played Two-Face kind of like the Joker.
I will agree with that. Yes, he did.
You know, I mean, he did some things that I thought were good, but like he definitely was more insane, but not like tragic, because that's how Two-Face has always been. I did like Nicole Kidman in this movie was my little boy crush because she was really sexy in this movie. Nicole Kidman was a good Batman girl, like a Bond girl. I don't know. What do you say, like a Bat girl? No, because then it insinuates Batgirl.
It insinuates Alicia Silverstone.
But yeah, the great cast, and honestly, like I don't hate the movie. Like it's pretty fucking entertaining.
The movie is a good movie, and it's the only Batman movie of the modern day where you get the fucking Robin quote, "Holy rusted metal."
Yeah, holy rusted metal.
That's the only time that's ever said in a modern Batman movie.
That's true. And also we get, first of all, Chris O'Donnell in this movie, who plays Robin. He's really good as Robin.
He is good.
I like how he's kind of like a bad boy. He's definitely like 90s bad boy. Shaved head with,
Motorcycle,
like the little motorcycle.
no sleeves. Yeah,
No,
baggy
he's
shirt.
got the
no
red
sleeves.
red round glasses.
Yeah.
He's got the red tinted round sunglasses, and he steals the Batmobile, which is a great scene. Coolio's in this movie. I mean, it's definitely 90s as fuck, but it's fun. Like, I don't know what it's fun.
It is a fun
it's-
movie.
It's not good, but I think it teeters to the point that it could have been good if like a few more changes were made.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that it's my favorite Batman movie, not including the Nolan movies.
Better than Tim Burton's?
I don't like Tim Burton's Batmans.
Okay.
I'll take George Clooney's Batmans over Tim Burton's.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, maybe I'll cut this out because that was a hot take.
That was a hot take. Okay. I mean, technically, and I'm kind of saving you here. I'm going to consider the Tim Burton Batman movies as Tim Burton movies and not Batman movies, which leaves us with the 60s Batmans and Joel Schumacher. So yes, I will agree with you. Batman Forever is the best Batman movie. And yeah, I like it. I think it's got, yeah, it just has like, it has good villains. It has I love the Riddler when he's trying to figure out what he should be called.
Yeah,
Do you remember that computer program where he's just like giving himself different costumes and he's
yeah,
like, question mark man. And then the little vending machine, he just basically just steals the vending machine or fortune teller, whatever the fuck.
yeah.
His costume. Overall, I like this movie. It's funny as hell. Jim Carrey's hilarious in it. Yeah, and again, I wouldn't have been mad if they kept Val Kilmer on for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
I think because he was just an asshole.
Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah.
Damn. That sucks. I didn't realize he was a dick.
Yeah.
That ruins MacGruber for me.
That's right. He's the villain MacGruber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's funny because it's like one of the movies that like I can't really hate on because even though I know in my heart of hearts it's not a good movie, like at the same time in my heart of hearts I'm like I really enjoy this movie. And I even saw it more recently and I had a great time. I think I saw it maybe like a year or two ago and I had a great time watching it. I thought it was fucking hilarious but like in a good way, like not in like Batman and Robin hilarious where I'm just like, fuck, this is terrible. It's just like I had a good time. It's just like it was fun. Like if this premiered like today, I would go see it and I'd be like, you know what, that was a fun movie. Like I wasn't expecting too much, but it was fun.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the movies that if it's on TV, I'll stop and watch like 20, 30 minutes of it.
Yeah, agreed.
So another movie that I every time it's on TV, I'll stop and watch it, but that hasn't happened a lot recently. And no, it's not another ninja movie. So I saved the fourth one.
Thank God.
So this is actually the second black superhero ever. And I'm talking about Blank Man.
Blank Man?
Have you never seen Blank Man?
No.
Oh my God.
What is that?
You're in for a treat.
Okay.
So it stars Damon Wayans and David Alan Grier. They're brothers. And Damon Wayans is like this nerdy...
Oh, this was off the sketch of In Living Color.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like a nerdy inventor who's like really awkward, socially awkward. And their grandmother gets murdered by some mafia motherfuckers.
Okay.
And Damon Wayans makes a bulletproof onesie, I guess. It's basically a onesie with a blanket as a cape. And he goes around fighting crime with all these gadgets, these awesome gadgets. He was like the Black Inspector Gadget. Like he had rollerblades with rockets on them. And
anything that's not the Matthew Broderick Inspector Gadget is a better Inspector Gadget.
Yeah. And he had a sidekick named J5. It was like a trash can. I think it was actually like a washing machine that was from like the 40s or something that he turned into a robot.
Was this is such a ridiculous movie.
So, they kind of make fun of themselves in this movie. So his suit is bulletproof, but at one point he's like going up to these muggers and he's like, "Shoot me," and they shoot him, and he's just like standing there like not hurt at all, and he's like, "I'm bulletproof," and the guy's like, "Well, why don't you just shoot him in the head?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, shoot him in the head," and he's like, wait a minute, don't shoot me in the head." So it's like this joke about how he's like the superhero, but he's not like quite like as organized as a superhero.
Right.
But he also like has all these very low tech Bruce Wayne-esque gadgets and shit. Like he converts an above street train track into like this motorcycle track.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the whole movie is pretty cool. Like his gadgets are cool, but it's just like some ghetto shit. It's like he attaches these flashlights to his rollerblades, and then has like rockets inside of the flashlights. But you could totally tell it's like jerry rigged up.
Okay,
and it's
like that's realistic though.
It is
realistic for the common man. That's realistic.
Yeah. So he recruits his brother to be his sidekick, and he calls him Other Guy. And
who's the other guy?
Other guy's David Allen Greer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jumanji accent. Okay, I like it.
So, they do not make his suit bulletproof. So at one point he's like telling everybody to shoot him, and they do actually shoot him, and he gets like he's out for the rest of the movie. He's done.
He gets killed?
No, he doesn't get killed, but he's like out of the fight, like out of everything.
Okay.
But eventually, Blank Man saves the day, takes down the mob, gets the girl, which is really awkward.
Oh god.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because it's like it's the girl that his brother, David Allen Greer, is going after the entire movie. And then Damon Wayans just like gets her at the end. So it kind of fucked
no
up.
Context?
Yeah.
No
well, she does like him, even though he's a nerd, like an awkward nerd. But David Allen Greer does not let up. Like it would be borderline sexual assault today.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Again, 90s.
Yeah.
Just get away with that.
There are some hilarious moments, like Damon Wayans creates a two-way radio, and he puts it in David Allen Greer's belt buckle. So at one point he's like talking into his belt buckle, but it looks like he's talking into his dick. and he's talking to his brother, and he's like, "Come home, I got some stuff to show you." And he's like, "I do not want to play with you right now. Maybe later." And it's like all of the coworkers are walking by and seeing this shit, like him talking to his dick. It's hilarious.
This seems like a total David Allen Greer like line too. Like this seems like a role he totally would do.
He kills it in that role. And Damon, like the movie is a great movie. I did not rewatch it. I did not rewatch it, so I don't know if it holds up.
Okay, so in your memory, it's a great movie. In
my memory, yes. Okay. But everything I watched since then, like Three Ninjas, Surf Ninjas,
has not been good.
It has not been good. So I'm scared to go back because I love this movie.
I will say I didn't revisit. Well, I guess Mask of Zorro and Batman Forever would probably be mine that hold up. The Shadow and the Phantom, definitely.
Yeah, and that was just a lack of good effects, and well, the stories sucked, but like too. So
yeah, and I mean your ninjas. I mean, I don't.
But all of my movies except Blank Man revolve around karate, which is like a total 90s thing. It's like everyone.
It totally is. It's karate, surfing, tubulars, radicals.
Yeah, killing
bodacious.
People, high fiving. Yeah,
high five. All right, cool. Well, Kevin, I have one last question for you. And, I guess I'll revolve it around what's kind of been happening with all the 90s. Not what's been happening, but like with all the 90s movies and all the original songs. Which of these movies would be infinitely better with an original song with a music video?
Oh, God.
And some of these are a little obscure. I kind of wish I got a little bit better movies, but I feel like these are pretty popular. One isn't. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. because it's a 2000s superhero movie with Sean Connery. Sean Connery's last movie, actually. 12 Years a Slave.
God.
Yeah, it's not a good one. Or Mad Max Fury Road.
Mad Max would be a good one. That could be a Slipknot song. That would fit so perfectly.
Okay, so that's your band. You're picking Slipknot
Well,
for Mad Max.
and then I'm like, 12 Years a Slave. Kendrick Lamar could probably make a banging song for that movie.
It's true.
Oh God, what was the other? What was the first one?
League of
Oh God. What was P. Diddy's name back then? Was it Puff Daddy?
Puff Daddy.
I could picture a Puff Daddy League
That's
of
the
Extraordinary
widest
Gentlemen.
thing you. I think you've already topped your widest thing of the. What was that young man, Sean Diddy Combs? What was his name back in the day?
My white is showing.
So you're thinking Puff Daddy for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
I'm trying to think of like maybe Mace. Mace could make a fucking song in the early 2000s.
Oh god,
Juvenile,
You know,
DMX. I don't know why I'm going with rap. Maybe it could be like
DMX 12 Years a Slave.
Smash Mouth, maybe with League. What's a
Ooh,
fucking
Actually, that's not bad. Smash
Three Doors
Mouth.
Down? 3 Doors Down maybe would have a good League song.
I could see that actually. I could see Three Doors Down.
Okay, so we're saying 3 Doors Down for League, Kendrick Lamar for 12 Years a Slave, and Slipknot for yeah. I'm going with Slipknot. Yeah.
So you're gonna go Slipknot, Mad Max.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. I don't know. I feel like I want to go Third Eye Blind with League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I could see that. Incubus. Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, 12 years. This is showing how, like, I mean, I'm not really into rap, but the only person I know is Kendrick Lamar because he's just the Black Panther album. I'm like, 12 Years a Slave, Kendrick Lamar, easy in.
That's actually, I'm ashamed to admit it, that's actually what I thought too.
You know what? I think Kanye back in the day could have done League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I think that
that's
was
my
before.
pick.
I think that was before Kanye's time, though.
Was it? I think it was early 2000s.
Yeah, Kanye didn't really come out until like 2005, 6. Getting big.
You know, it'd be good with Mad Max, just because it just goes with it. Rascal Flats. If it came,
What?
if Mad Max,
Oh, you have to explain this to me.
if Mad Max Fury Road came out in the early 2000s, Rascal Flats would be, and just because it's got like a desert feel and they're just like country or something, I don't know.
Don't they have a song in Cars that's really fucking desert sounding?
Yeah, that's
You
why
know
I was
what
thinking about
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking about that.
Life is a Highway. Yeah.
Life is a Highway.
Imagine that in Fury.
Life is a Highway
Yeah.
with yeah. I think I might go with Eminem for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Like that's the end credits is rolling, and there's like an Eminem song about, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
And
he's rhyming some words that just are fucking insane.
Captain
to figure out
Nemo,
like why. Yeah.
Captain Nemo, he's a hero. Clearly, that's my rapping skills. So yes, I'm going with Eminem, circa 2003. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen,
Okay.
and you're going with, was it Slipknot or Marilyn Manson?
Slipknot, but interchangeable. Marilyn Manson, Mudvayne, Slipknot. Yeah. Anything like harder metal could be.
Oh, it works.
Yeah.
Actually, I
works.
could see them in the movie. You remember the the guitar guy with
Yeah.
like, the flaming set.
Yep.
I could easily see like Marilyn Manson being that weird guy, or the entire band of Slipknot being on one of those cars that they drive. doing
Yeah.
that shit.
Just doing
That
Slipknot things.
actually, I wouldn't be mad at that.
That would be
today.
awesome. That's the
All right,
music
cool.
video that I want to see.
Yeah, that's a good music video. I could already see that. That sounds good. All right, guys. Well, let us know what you think would be an awesome original song for one of those three movies, or if you have another one, go ahead and add it on there. And for our 90s heroic movies, let us know what your favorite were, as well as if you thought any of ours were your favorite. I guess for next week and all that. Well, I guess not next week. No, I guess
Next
week. Next week. Well, next week for us. Next week for you.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out on our Twitter and Instagram at Wicked Hot Talk for our guessing for what the next episode will be. We still don't know what that is at this current moment, but hopefully you can guess it on Wednesday. And make sure to give us a follow or subscribe on iTunes, as well as giving us a 5-star rating, because that totally helps us out, gets us out there, let other people. And you know what? And I guess I never thought of saying this, but hey, if you love our show so much, you like tuning in every week, tell us to your friends. Tell your friends about me. Tell your friends about us. Spread the word, because I'm sure plenty other people that may want to take a listen.
Yeah.
But hey, that's just me. But Kevin, I don't know if you have anything else until next week.
Nope.
All right. Cool, guys. Well, we will catch you on another episode of Wicked Hot next week, and stay frosty.
Bye, everybody.
I don't know why I said that.